Nobody does, but especially no children. Like, nah, to die like that, nah. Matter of fact, maybe one person deserves to die like that. Let's start this. Let's start this show off right now. This is us covering this dude David again. Now I got no sympathy for him because, again, like I said before, it was a good chance that he did do it, but you know, you never know. But as of right now, I don't care about him because let's get into this. They found a bunch of kitty corn on his phone. Yeah, let's get into this report. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go. Got 18 in the building. Crazy. We got the number 18, and we got this bozo who liked the kids.
Story number 2. A hearing just wrapped up for singer David in his first-degree murder case.
The prosecution revealed details about disturbing digital evidence. Let's get to CBS LA's Rick Montanez with what we learned in court today. Rick, what are you hearing?
Amy, Chris, the hearing just wrapped up within the half hour here, and cameras were not allowed in court, but I can tell you that the defendant, David Burke, was in court today in shackles and wearing that orange jumpsuit. The biggest new piece of evidence revealed, prosecutors say a significant amount of child porn found on Burke's cell phone. We also want to point out that this all happens one day after the medical examiner's report became public. That is the report on the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The report said,
rest in peace to this young girl.
Or I should say the family of Rivas Hernandez is absolutely devastated to learn the gruesome details contained in that write-up. That's according to a family statement. So this report says the 14-year-old girl died of sharp force trauma, but the autopsy was difficult because of the severe decomposition of her dismembered body when it was found in the singer's abandoned Tesla last September. Officials say she died 5 months earlier in April of last year. Burke, the suspect known by his stage name David, was arrested last Thursday. On Monday, he pled not guilty to the capital murder charges. We spoke with a former federal prosecutor just a short time ago here on CBS LA Mornings about this new evidence revealed in today's hearing and the fact that David's phone, according to prosecutors, contains child porn.
And obviously, we don't know if it's Celeste Rivas's images and videos or something else, but that is a significant offense. Obviously, it helps prosecutors prove the sex crimes, the lewd and lascivious, Penal Code Section 288, but it's also a separate crime in and of itself. And it's certainly the possibility that the feds even step into this case because they typically will prosecute these types of child pornography cases.
And we also learned from prosecutors that there is a large amount of digital data that needs to be processed and shared as evidence with the defense. So there is a lot that will happen as this case moves forward, but it will be back in court. Both sides will be back in court on April 29th next week so they can get an update on where they stand with evidence, whether they need more time to prepare for a potential capital murder trial. Also worth noting, today's date, April 23rd, marks the 1 year since Celeste Rivas Hernandez was last seen alive. Reporting live in downtown Los Angeles, Rick Montanez, CBS LA.
As y'all heard, this dude David is disgusting. Yeah, like I said, nobody deserves to die like that. Maybe David deserves to die like that. He's a total bozo. Total bozo. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see something. Let me look at the comment section real quick. Somebody said something about... Yes, that's my second channel. Everybody who's just coming in, make sure y'all hit that pin link. Subscribe to my second channel. Help me out. They're attacking me. But yes, this guy's a total disgusting bozo. And also, yes, we know about George Macon. We covered him yesterday. And it was painful. I had to end the stream. He's so stupid. Yes, this case... Shout out to you, RBG, for the win. And everybody else in the chat room. This whole case is disgusting. It's just terrible. Everybody connected to this case should be in jail, though. There's a lot of people who knew what was going on. You're not just some dude who got a phone full of child porn and you got more stashed away and you openly in a relationship with a 14-year-old and nobody don't know. Everybody who knew about this and had some parts to play in this situation, watching it go on, they need some type of case. Like seriously, like if you knew that this dude was like, he was into kids like that and he was going after kids and you was trying to help cover it up, because again, there's no way he was doing all this without somebody helping to cover this up. Anybody who helped cover it up or participated in it in any way, shape, or form need to go. Need to go. Her classmates knew. Those were kids. I'm talking about adults. I'm talking about adults. I'm not saying no 13-year-old should be in jail because they knew, they quote unquote knew, because she could have been capping. They probably didn't even know for real. I'm talking about the adults in the house, because again, he's a famous singer. He got an entourage. The adults who knew what it was. You say you heard his family refusing to cooperate? Of course, because his family probably knew. Again, ain't no way you got a phone full of child porn and you dating, not even dating, you raping on a 14-year-old in the open, where she know where you live, she be around your house, everybody know, the people who around you know who she is, and they didn't know. They didn't have parts in it. Thank you for the sub, Mighty, one Mighty and Strong. Thank you. But yeah, let's get in it. Let's see some more about this autopsy. He worse than polite because he killed the girl. He worse than polite. Worse. Oh, that's nice. And I'm just gonna block you. Thank you. Yeah, but he's worse than polite. Worse. He killed this girl. Yeah, let's see how she. Oh, let me see. Yeah.
Tonight, disturbing new details on how Celeste Rivas was killed before her dismembered body was found in the trunk of a Tesla belonging to singer David. CBS LA's Hunter Posen live in downtown LA with the autopsy report and what it means for the criminal case against the singer. Hunter?
Yeah, Pat, some of these details really are so tough to hear. So we want to be transparent with our viewers. We are choosing to leave out some of those details because they are simply too graphic, but we are getting our first insights into how the medical examiner says Celeste Rivas Hernandez was murdered. A newly released report gives chilling details into the state of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body when it was found in the trunk of singer David Burke's Tesla last fall. The medical examiner says she died of sharp force trauma, but the autopsy made difficult because her body was severely decomposed. Officials say she died in April of 2025 and wasn't found until September, roughly 5 months later. The medical examiner details 2 penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges that may represent sharp force injuries.
That's important because that's evidence of murder. People aren't killed accidentally with sharp objects.
Former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani says this will help the prosecution build their case. The report also reveals her body was dismembered and put into separate cadaver bags, stating she was missing both arms above the elbows and both legs above the knees.
The prosecution won't be able to definitively say what that sharp, dangerous object was. They don't have a murder weapon.
The medical examiner's report was initially kept sealed at the request of the LAPD, but with Burke arrested Monday, a judge ordered it released. It is the first time the family is learning these details. They released a statement saying, in part, these findings have caused profound emotional pain for the family. They respectfully ask for privacy, understanding, and patience as they process this information.
There's no question that the facts of this case and the evidence that comes out at trial will be very disturbing for those jurors.
While the report reveals a lot the public did not know about what may have happened before the 14-year-old's death, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. Rahmani believes the defense will claim too much time passed for the autopsy to prove what exactly happened, but feels the prosecution has evidence they aren't yet releasing.
They talked about digital evidence. People that are younger, they tend to use their cell phones, and we know that those phones have a treasure trove of information.
And of course, that is information that we are going to be waiting to hear very closely. In addition to first-degree murder, Burke is also facing charges of lewd acts with someone under the age of 14 and mutilating a body. He is being held without bail, but he is expected tomorrow to be in court for a status hearing. Again, something we will be watching very closely. We're reporting live downtown tonight. Hunter Sowards, CBS LA.
Yeah, this dude is disgusting. Matter of fact, this is what the video I was looking for. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, he chopped her up. He's disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. And yeah, I know they celebrating what's going on in South Africa. We covered, like I said, we talked about George Making yesterday. This fool thought that proved FBA point on some level or something like that. This guy's completely insane. But yes, this is what I wanted to show you. This is I'm happy we found this video. Over more than when I said they found more evidence other than just his phone, more than 40 terabytes. You know how big a terabyte is? You know how big over 40 terabytes? This man is sick. Just that alone, he's supposed to get death penalty.
We begin with that breaking news. David appearing in court this morning.
We learned several new details in the case of the singer accused of killing a teenager. Eyewitness News reporter Abigail Velez is live outside the downtown LA courthouse with more. Abigail?
Yeah, Philip, this morning, David sat handcuffed to a chair in an all-orange jumpsuit in front of a judge when prosecutors said they found a massive amount of child pornography on David's iPhone. And that is just one element of evidence in this case. This morning in court, prosecutors revealed that David's iPhone contained what they described a significant amount of child sexual abuse material, evidence they say will be reviewed by forensic experts. They also made clear this is a massive case with a lot of evidence. Prosecutors say they have far more than 40 terabytes of evidence, including data from phones, computers, tablets, and iCloud, where they say David alone had about 3 terabytes stored. So far, only about 30% of all of that evidence has been turned over to the defense because of how massive the volume is. We also learned today 3 grand juries were brought together during this investigation in November, December, and February, showing how long this case has been building. Defense attorneys pushed to move things faster, asking for basic discovery and physical evidence only in the preliminary hearing, arguing much of it is already in prosecutors' hands. Prosecutors say they're anxious to start the preliminary hearing, and so is the Rivas Hernandez family. Now, all of this comes as today marks 1 year since Celeste Rivas Hernandez was last known to be alive, before police say she went to David's rented home in the Hollywood Hills. A newly released autopsy details a violent death, saying she was stabbed multiple times, including a wound that pierced her liver, which experts say would have likely been the fatal one. The next court date is set for next Wednesday as both sides continue to work through what is now one of the largest evidence loads we've seen in a case like this. For now, reporting live at the LA County Courthouse, Abigail Velez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Abigail.
Yeah, this guy's disgusting. And everybody else involved, because they said they got 3 terabytes from him alone, and it's 40 terabytes altogether. So anybody he was sharing this stuff with, anything like that, they all need to be in jail too, just like that. Yeah, a phone can carry like up to like an iPhone, but you got to pay a lot of, you got to buy a special type of one, and it costs a lot of money. They could carry up to like 1 terabyte. And then when you get the iCloud with it, it could carry so much. And again, it wasn't just on his phone. Like they said, computers, tablets, all that. This guy's disgusting. He's sick. Everybody involved need, like the family, everybody. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff happened like almost a year ago. That's what I was like. And they found the girl in his car chopped up and everything. Like, come on. Yeah, I would hate to be, I couldn't be no type of special victims cop or something like that, or juror on a case like this. It'd be like, oh my, this is too much. This is too much. I couldn't even listen to all this stuff. Couldn't. But I just know one thing. If they found all that stuff, just that alone, he need to be in jail, and not even in jail. He need to be in a body bag. Just like that poor little girl who passed that I'm not gonna say he murdered, because again, we don't know if he murdered her, but his PDF file behavior, I will say, contributed greatly to her death. Shout out to, we got 40 people in the building. Make sure y'all hitting that link. Make sure y'all hitting that link. What happened in South Africa? I'm assuming you mean South Africa. There was like a xenophobic attack against a guy in Ghana and some Nigerians. So that's why FBA is talking about it. Everybody, make sure y'all hitting this link as y'all come in. Hit that link. Thumbs up. Support the channel. Support the stream. Like, that's free. But yeah, let's get off of that. Yeah, let's switch gears. Rest in peace to that young sister, that young girl. I'm gonna say, yeah, rest in peace to that young girl. But yeah, let's switch gears. Let's get on to this. For all y'all who don't know, I just found this out myself.